So this is an activity you can do too in your workplace too. I think this is helpful too for you to get the pulse of people you work with. It could be like a group activity so that you can say we're green, yellow, red, and you can even say, "Are we green, yellow, red today?" So you can understand where people are when they approach the place. For my happy with mine, and we haven't done it in a while. My happy for my staff, we were doing line dancing. We would have to master it. We did the Tupac, that one, I forgot that one. We started last year. And then we did Boots on the Ground. There was another one. I forgot the other. But we would have to do it. And my thing with them would everybody doesn't do it the same way. Don't look at someone else. Do it your way. As long as you turn the same time we turn, don't worry about how everyone else is doing it because we're all individual. Because I have a very diverse, you know, staff, and everyone has different levels of coordination. And so as long as we end up on the same beat, we're good. So that's our happy. We haven't done it in a while, right? And Maria just said, "How long you been at the county?" A year. A year. But it's been fun. Those line dances really helps. Yes. After a long day, just get out, say, shut everything down. Everybody, let's stand up. Yeah. And we'll turn on the music. Now, Miss Olga never got involved because she just take the pictures. She don't want to do them, but it really helps. And y'all, did y'all see the students that they were saying that while everyone in the world is going crazy, people are blind dancing, black folks are blind dancing, and so I thought that was funny because I was making them do it, David. And I was like, this is our happy place. So I understand that everyone does need a happy, so you just got to figure out what's your happy and what that looks like. During COVID, I went to because that's when you had to couldn't be around anybody. Mm-hmm. So I did a lot of reading and I did a lot of Audible. So I became I could read a book in just 306 pages in a couple of days. So you had to find what's your piece. Okay. No one want to share your green, yellow, or no? That's fine. Energy. And Ramona was talking about energy. So these are just these in the center of the table are just different things that can sap your energy, and you can kind of read through those. They can zap your energy or energize you. When I hire someone, the first thing I say, what's their energy like? Because when you hire people, they bring that energy to work. And you can pick up on negative energy, and you have to be okay saying, this isn't going to work. I had a situation where before Miss Olga Miss Olga loves the county, so me and her have been friends forever. We hired a young lady that her energy was a little off. And but I was like, oh, I need someone. You have to be okay to say I made a mistake. And that didn't work. So before she started, I went to HR and said, hey, I think I have someone else in mind. What do I need to do? Because I don't think this is going to be a good fit. They said, well, just make sure you let them know and then leave the position open for a while before you hire somebody. So then Miss Olga came in, perfect fit. She's like, everyone's like, even from our administration, they said, where'd you get Olga from? She loves to work. I said, and Olga loves the county because she's been back 3 times. And so you got to find people that want to work too. But energy is huge for me in relationships, personal and professional. I'm serious. Yeah. So do you guys have a situation where you were a little off on the energy with someone? You do? You want to share with us? Did you know? No. It's okay if you don't want to share, but it is important when I say, oh, the energy's off. Sometimes we pick energy because I picked a person to work in our area because their mom asked me to, but the energy didn't match. And I told the staff, they were all looking at me like, okay, this is your pick. I said, I'm going to take this one because this was not a good pick for us. And then I had to correct it. It wasn't a good feeling, but I said, hey, this is probably not the best fit for you. 3 months in. How long does it take? There's a lot of red flags. You want to stay. So I always say, don't stay at the dance too long because sometimes we do that. And so I've learned just in my position in the last 5 years that if it's not working, it's not working. If you push it, that causes problems with the staff. I had a young lady, was not a good fit, but I just like, okay, I want to help her out. She moved here from Prairie View. She was going to Prairie. I want to help her out. I want to help her out. But everyone, when I came in, was looking at me like, do you see this person? So this particular morning, she was playing the music. And as I walked past her, she said, what she said? She said, the devil is busy. The devil. I look like, okay, this is enough. She said, the devil is busy. And she said, let's exit out these evil spirits that's in this place. As I'm walking by. And I thought, okay. So I shut my door. I said, get her paperwork ready. It's time to go.
I got a question.
Yes.
So you flip the script on that. So somebody has a bad energy about you. You know your work ethics are great. You know you're a positive person, but that person prejudge you or somehow they just not accepting or embracing you for who you are. So how does that work?
So that's not gonna work because at the end of the day, in this example, this person didn't want to work. You can't make a person have a good work ethic. You know what I mean? I can honestly say, and 99% of the time, I get along with people. Even the most challenging people, I can get along with them. So if it's one thing, my HR director, I had another challenge. I kept a lady too long. And I'm going to come to you. He said what was bad about managers and supervisor director, you feel bad that you can't get that person to come to your understanding. But good leaders know that their staff has to know them and know what you like or not like.
So basically that was a bad leader.
No, so the leader has to understand if this person doesn't adjust for how to accommodate you, then it's not a good fit.
But you're the side where you the good worker, you're embraced, but this leader is not accepting you as that positive person that you are.
No, it was the opposite. The person, I was the leader, and the person.
No, I'm not talking about you. You're
okay.
This is what you no, I'm a positive person. So I'm saying, if you flip the script, that leader is that person that's not accepting you. You came in to go work for this leader. And this leader prejudged you, or maybe they didn't want you because they were going to hire somebody else. They already wanted somebody else.
Okay, it's another thing. Okay, so my boss that I had prior to me taking this position, he came to me and said, "You weren't the person I chose. I wanted someone else, but they overrode me because they needed an educated minority, and we didn't have a black person in our department."
Oh, wow.
He was white.
Okay.
So it was a challenge working for him, but guess who was the last person standing? You. Yeah. So 18 years later, he was telling the commissioners, "This is my work wife."
Yep.
So I mean,
they gave it a chance and after got to know you, he really, but yeah.
Well, I consistently be myself.
Exactly.
You got to you can't make people change. He consistently was himself. I was consistently myself. But guess who will come in and shut the door? Hey, I need to ask you something. I did this. What do you think? And I'll look, I was like, it probably wasn't the nicest thing to do. You probably owe that person an apology. So I think when you show up as your authentic self,
it'll work out. I'm
a living example of that one. He told me point blank, you weren't my choice, but I have to work with you, so I'm going to make the best of this.
Okay.
18 years later, we made the best of it. Yeah. And I was the last one there of that group. Everyone else had left.
Wow.
I stayed the whole time. And so when he retired, he's like, hey, and he didn't recommend me for his job. He recommended someone else. Yeah. I'm telling you. So, but you gotta consistently show up who you are.
You're right.
Regardless. And I wasn't mad at him.
Right.
And then he came and asked me, he said to me, hey, they're saying that I'm overlooking you, that I'm being misogynistic, you as a woman. And I said, well, you never asked me if I wanted the job. You told me I couldn't do the job because it needed to be a man.
Mm-hmm. So y'all was back to how you started with him.
So it's a
Everybody's
different
dictating
position.
how they want the person to be.
So, but he said his wife brought it to his attention when she kept asking, "What about Veronica? What about?" He said she don't want it. He said, "Did you ask her?" His wife spoke up. So just imagine, sometimes we're that ear to people that other people don't realize that. So his wife, he said, "My wife," she said, asked me, and I said, "I don't think she wanted." I said, "You never asked me." I said, "You assumed that I didn't because you told me I was too nice." He told me that. So, but I never was mean to him or anything. I consistently was myself. Okay, I think so.
Thank
You did.
Probably don't. Oh. So, so I think within your, so let me just say, yesterday I went home, I went to bed because I was dealing with something like that all day, and it just drained me. I canceled my date, like I couldn't. I just went to bed, and I think the overall view that you're going to see is that that person is not just going to affect you, they're going to affect the whole team around them, like you were saying. Mm-hmm. So it won't just be that I think that they're a certain way or they're doing a certain thing. Everybody's going to see it. Mm-hmm. Because they're only going to be able to. Seems to me like I see people in my experience, you tell them something and then they're on the high, and then it's like, okay, well then they go back to their normal, and then you have to tell them again, and then we're on the high again because they're going to do right, and then they're going to go back to their normal self, right? And so when you're seeing that roller coaster, inevitably they're never going to level out because they're always going to do what they can to make it right. And then they're going to go back to doing their norm, which you can't, sort of like a relationship. You know, you marry that person, you think that they're all this, it's all roses and happiness. And then, you know, after a while, it's like, oh, that true person comes out because you can't not be yourself for too long before it shows. So I think that whenever you have the other people around you and they're seeing that this person is who they are, then that's going to kind of help to dictate whether it's on a good thing or a bad thing. Like that guy, he saw that previous manager, he saw that, oh, okay, after all this time, she may not have been what I wanted, but now I see all these good things and I see her value. That's because you were being your true self. So it works out in a good way, and it also can work out in a negative way. Right. And yeah, that's.